Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing once again the newly revealed Ninjago 2022 J minifigure, or at least that's what people are suggesting it is, and we're going to be talking about the new power-up that this figure seems to showcase. What exactly is this power-up and what exactly is it not? We're going to be discussing that in today's video, but before we even do get started with that, in case you guys need a quick refresher, let me go ahead and recap the events of the last couple of days for Ninjago news. So obviously we had a major thing happen within the world of major retailers, specifically places like Target, who have begun putting up new advertisements for the Ninjago products, which is obviously nothing new. Usually LEGO gives major retailers like Target the actual sets, the products themselves, and the advertisements to promote said products, and as such Target does what it does, sells the products off, and both companies benefit from that obviously. That's just how the general world of marketing works. But in terms of this actual Target advertisement itself, something is peculiar about this one. Specifically, it showcases a new Ninjago J figure that right now, at this current moment in time, does not exist. Nowhere does this figure exist in the show, nor the sets. The only thing that could be even remotely similar to this advertisement for J is the Honesty J figure, which is actually part of LEGO.com's new online game thing for the Ninjago series, and a lot of people have just dismissed those designs as being non-canon. However, because this is actually going to be a figure as suggested by this Target ad, it appears that these suits are indeed going to be canon to the show. But what's also peculiar about this new advertisement for J is that it seems to feature that version of J, you know, the Honesty J figure, but powered up in a way, a new alternate form of that previously established design. So let's go ahead and talk about that. What exactly does this mean and what does this suggest? And also I should probably mention, if you guys wanted to check out the Target ad for yourself, feel free to do so using the link down below in the description. I'm not able to show the actual advertisement in the video itself due to questionable legality regarding that. I don't want to get in trouble with LEGO or anything like that, so use the link down below in the description to check out this advertisement for yourself and get caught up to speed. So yeah, in terms of this new power-up for J, what exactly is this? What does this suggest? So looking at the figure right away, I feel like a lot of us are already on the impression that this is in fact a return of Forbidden Spinjitzu, which was the ancient martial art sort of utilized in Season 11's storyline. That was kind of the main gimmick of that season and the sets that accompanied that season. The ninja learned Forbidden Spinjitzu, or at least most of them did. We didn't see every ninja use Forbidden Spinjitzu in the show, but all 6 of the ninja had variants of Forbidden Spinjitzu minifigures that came out in the sets. This new J figure utilizes the exact same headpiece that the Forbidden Spinjitzu figures used, with the energy shooting out the top and the normal ninja wrap trying to conceal their face. But this version of J uses a different color. Unlike the Forbidden Spinjitzu variant of J that came out prior, this one uses just a translucent yellow color instead of that translucent lime green that J had previously used in Forbidden Spinjitzu. It suggests that there's going to be something different going on. Also, this figure itself uses a different torso print than that of the previous Forbidden Spinjitzu figures. Even the Spinjitzu Slam figures don't really look like this. Of course, those figures were energized to an extent, but this one just goes all out. The only similarity that I can see with this figure and a Forbidden Spinjitzu figure is that the legs appear to be unchanged. That was kind of a previous thing that the Forbidden Spinjitzu figures used, especially in the Spinjitzu Slam sets. They basically used different torso prints, but the exact same legs as the previously established designs. This new version of J appears to be doing the exact same thing. But do I think this is Forbidden Spinjitzu? Honestly, I don't. Even though this figure very heavily suggests that this is going to be a return of Forbidden Spinjitzu, I feel like it's something different. Not only because the torso print doesn't look anything like previously established Forbidden Spinjitzu figures, but I also don't think bringing back Forbidden Spinjitzu is a good idea. I feel like if it does return in some way, then maybe the show could actually make it work this time, but I feel like they tried it once and it didn't really work, so why would we try it again if that makes sense? I'd hate to see Ninjago fail at introducing Forbidden Spinjitzu a second time, at least in terms of the actual show itself. Another option that people are suggesting is that this new power-up could indeed be the Spinjitzu Burst, but for J. This is also something that we saw previously in spinner sets, or you know, those small impulse buy sets. We previously saw Spinjitzu Burst for the Season 13 or Master of the Mountain line of sets, where Cole was the only one to actually use the Spinjitzu Burst in the show, but Cole, Kai, and Lloyd all had Spinjitzu Burst figures. This is obviously a case of these figures being non-canon, and several people are suggesting that maybe this new version of J could in fact be non-canon. However, since J is being used as kind of a centerpiece for the entire Ninjago line, I think it's safe to say that this figure will indeed be canon to the show and the sets, meaning that this could be Jay's attempt at using the Spinjitzu burst. But if you wanted my opinion on that as well, I don't think it's going to be the Spinjitzu burst either. For one, the figures look completely different from one another, and two, I don't think introducing the Spinjitzu burst again is a good idea as well. In concept, Spinjitzu burst could pretty much work for any elemental master. Essentially, all an elemental master needs is to be surrounded by his or her respective element, and they'll be able to tap into it, much like how we saw Cole tap into the power of Earth during season 13. Maybe Jay can do the same thing with lightning, but I feel like there's something more to this. I feel like it's going to be something entirely different. So in terms of whether or not I think it's Forbidden Spinjitzu or the Spinjitzu burst, I don't think it's either. I feel like it's definitely not going to be either of those things. However, we do have some evidence to suggest that Jay will not be the only one obtaining this new power. There has been a new set listing for 2022, which has kind of been floating around. I haven't really covered it on a video because it seems kind of sketchy to me, so take this information with a very heavy grain of salt. But on that list are a couple of spinner sets, one for Jay, one for Kai, and one for Lloyd. You know, spinner, small impulse buy sets, you get it, whatever works. These types of sets usually house these type of energized ninja figures. We've seen it time and time again, but because there's one for Jay, Kai, and Lloyd, it seems like this is going to be another power-up that's going to be introduced to the show, much like Forbidden Spinjitzu and Spinjitzu Burst previously. Even though not every Spinjitzu Burst figure was canon, it still existed in the show, and I feel like it's going to be the same thing as this new power-up for Jay. So what exactly is this new power-up? If it's not Forbidden Spinjitzu and it's not the Spinjitzu Burst, what exactly is it? Well, the only other explanation is it's a brand new power not yet introduced within the show itself. The power-up specifically done for Jay would be very interesting to see in the show itself, and I have a couple of ideas as to what this power could in fact be. My first thought was that maybe this is somehow Jay attempting to reach Nia's level. Maybe he wants to make a Nia level sacrifice to bring Nia back, and maybe he just wants to take her place. How exactly that would make sense within the context of the show, I have no idea, and I'll probably be making a separate video on this idea going in depth and in more detail regarding this theory. But my first thought was that this could be a Jay equivalent of Nia's power-up in season 15 or Seabound, whatever you want to call it. In that season, we saw Nia fully absorb and connect with her elemental power, and perhaps we could be seeing the same exact thing done to Jay in the next season. Maybe Jay tries to connect with his lightning power even further to try to mirror Nia, or maybe he tries to connect with Nia in some way, you know, post-transformation. Maybe he just wants to connect with her again, so he experiments on himself and his own power, trying to dig deeper and deeper into his own elemental abilities. Perhaps this would lead to the birth of this new form. Either that, or some people have been commenting that this very well could be a Vengestone based power, which I'm not exactly sure how that would make sense. I feel like people are only saying it's going to be Vengestone based because of the actual yellowing on Jay's minifigure. I feel like the yellow power and the yellow on Vengestone might actually suggest that this new elemental ability is somehow drawn out from Vengestone, which once again really would not make any sense because, you know, Vengestone usually restricts or blocks out elemental powers entirely. Why would it give Jay a boost of power? But you gotta remember, all the way back in Skybound, there was a brief moment in time where Vengestone actually boosted power. Maybe this could be a minifigure representation of that. Obviously, the circumstances surrounding this event were very much specific to that time frame. The ninja used a wish that Nadakon unfortunately granted, and as such, Vengestone temporarily did not disable elemental powers, but instead made them stronger. Maybe if Nadakon returns, we'll see something similar. Who's to say? There have been rumors of Nadakon coming back, but I feel like in general, this will be a new power-up altogether. Maybe we'll see something entirely different. Maybe the Spinjitzu Surge rumors that have been circulating for a while will in fact finally become true here. Who's to say, really? Overall, I think this is going to be a brand new power for Jay himself to utilize and adapt to. The other ninja will probably have minifigure representation of this power as well, but in terms of whether or not we will see them in the show, I feel like this is going to be one of those times where we only see Jay utilize this power, very similar to Cole in Master of the Mountain utilizing the Spinjitzu Burst. What exactly this power is and what the actual circumstances are surrounding this new power-up, once again, we don't really know. However, we can speculate and we can theorize, and I have a couple of other videos in mind for this new figure. What exactly is it? Where does it come from? What does it mean? All of these questions we are dying to know. So as Ninjago fans, I feel like we should be a little bit more open-minded surrounding minifigures like this. There are endless possibilities as to what this figure could be, and I personally feel like it'll be a brand new power not yet seen within the show itself. So with that being said, you guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. What do you think about this brand new Jay minifigure? What power do you think it suggests? Do you think Forbidden Spinjitzu will return, or do you think this is the return of the Spinjitzu burst? Or finally, are you like me and you think this is going to be a new power altogether? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.